Meanwhile, Melanian's team issued a written statement that was read aloud by Dint during the midday press conference. As a mother, I find the Congresswoman's remarks to be beneath the dignity of her office. Our family deserves the same respect as any other. It was brief, vague, carefully written, but the message was clear. Melanian would take the high road while Trump dragged Crockett through the mud. Still, it was Jasmine who seemed composed when she finally appeared that evening. On Anderson Cooper's show, the camera cut to her sitting in a clean, minimalist office space with a soft light behind her. Anderson didn't waste time. Congresswoman, you've sparked a national conversation and a major backlash. Do you regret your words? She didn't blink. No, because what I said wasn't personal. It was political. It was about a system that treats some mothers as threats and others as protected based entirely on money and power. I didn't name call, I didn't insult. I held up a mirror. He nodded. Do you believe this firestorm is going to hurt you politically? Maybe, but not speaking truth that hurts all of us. It was a measured, firm response, and it hit the exact tone millions of Americans had been waiting for. The clip went viral overnight, particularly among immigrant communities, many of whom had never even heard of Crockett before this moment. In San Bernardino, a middle school teacher shared the clip in her ESL classroom. This is what it looks like when someone speaks for us, she told her students. One of them, 13-year-old Alma Ruiz, who hadn't spoken much all year, raised her hand and whispered, "She's not scared." But not everyone saw it that way. By the next morning, conservative talk radio was in full swing. Dale Ridgely, a host based in Mobile, Alabama, blasted Crockett as unhinged, accusing her of using the first family as a political punching bag. Meanwhile, Representative Shelton Briggs, an ultra-right member of Congress from Spokane, Washington, drafted a resolution to formally censure her on the House floor. If we let this go, we're inviting chaos, he said during a Fox appearance back in Texas. Jasmine was back at work reviewing legislation, fielding messages, dodging reporters. She didn't speak to Trump's outbursts again, not directly, but every time she sat down for an interview, she pulled the conversation back to immigration, equality, and the law. But as the media frenzied over words, something deeper started to swell voices from the ground. Everyday people pushing her forward without her even asking. It was Saturday morning when the storm finally broke containment. It wasn't just political anymore. It was cultural, emotional, everywhere. By then, everyone from retired politicians to lifestyle influencers had weighed in on Jasmine Crockett's town hall comment. Some were outraged, others moved. A few were just trying to ride the wave. Cable news channels ran split-screen panels every hour. On one side, conservative commentators called her vicious, reckless, a threat to civility. On the other, immigrants, attorneys, and civil rights leaders said she'd told the truth that no one else dared to say. Crockett herself stayed relatively quiet that morning. She hadn't posted, she hadn't called a press conference. Instead, she met quietly with a few aides at a cafe in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where she'd gone for a brief break from the chaos. But her silence only made the noise louder. On Instagram, influencers began posting side-by-side images, one of Melania in designer heels stepping off Air Force One, and another of a Guatemalan mother holding her baby behind a chain-link fence. The captions were biting, sarcastic, but pointed. One crosses borders in Louis Vuitton, the other in desperation. Only one gets protection. That image alone was reposted over 600,000 times in a day.